And welcome back to Washington Commanders Insider. Today, we're talking about the breaking news around the Washington Commanders as they have granted defensive tackle Jonathan Allen permission to seek a trade. And so I must say, I don't think that this was too much of a shocker. I think that this is something that we thought could possibly happen. Talking about the fact that Jonathan Allen is in the final year of his contract, he is due 15.5 million this season, but that base salary is not guaranteed. And you see the production that Jonathan Allen has had really throughout his time with the Washington Commanders, generating 42 sacks, 118 QB hits, 60 tackles. I think it's safe to say that he has really played well alongside of Daron Payne. But yes, the Washington Commanders now, I think with this move are really indicating that they are looking to go in a different direction. I think that, yes, we do get a chance to see some more of Johnny Newton, who was drafted in the second round of 2024. But I think more importantly, with a move like this and with this news, I think that maybe the Washington Commanders maybe tip their hand a little bit as to what they might be doing in the NFL draft. Because when I look at the free agent market and I look at the defensive tackles, I don't think that this is necessarily maybe the strongest free agent market for defensive tackles. Maybe it got a little bit more of an upgrade with the Bengals releasing Sheldon Rankings. I think that, he's on there. You have BJ Hill as well. Sheldon Rankings is a player that did get multiple sacks over, I think, the last three years, I'm pretty sure. With his former teams, he's had three with the Jets. He had six with the Houston Texans. And then before that, he had three with the Jets. And so, look, he had been productive, not so much of a production or a productive year here for the Bengals. But I think that this is something where the Washington Commanders don't go that direction via free agency. I mean, we'll see what happens as more teams kind of make some salary cap cuts and things like that. But I think that this is something where the Washington Commanders could really pivot and maybe look to the draft. And I think that if there's not a trade that happens, I definitely think that the Washington Commanders do maybe cut ties with Jonathan Allen. I think that that does save them about 16.5 million in cap space if they do so. But I think that there is the chance that if they do work out a trade, I wonder, is it something where he's included in maybe the package for Debo Samuels? Like, I don't know if that is something the Washington Commanders have explored. And I'm not sure that, if the 49ers would necessarily want to do that. I mean, I don't know if that's maybe what they're thinking as far as the direction is concerned, because they did go out, they drafted a wide receiver in the draft last season. Do they think maybe with Jonathan Allen, they get him over? They still have their quarterback. They still have some pieces there. Do they feel like maybe he's a piece that keeps that championship window open for them and maybe what they're looking to do? And then also, too, do you throw Jonathan Allen out there for maybe some other players that we've talked about? Like, I'm not sure if Trey Hendrickson is going to be available, because it looks like that the Bengals are starting to make some cuts. The Myles Garrett situation, that seems like that's going to be maybe a bit of a stalemate. And I think that that is going to take a lot of draft capital as well. And so I'm not sure that they would necessarily be interested in Jonathan Allen, an expiring contract. And so I think that maybe ultimately we're seeing a situation where it plays out where if he's not traded, then yeah, I think that the Washington Commanders move on. And then they start to look in the draft for, some defensive help here. And so anyway, let me know in the comments what you're thinking here. I just wanted to briefly hop on and talk about this Jonathan Allen situation. Like I said before, I think that this is something that we all thought could be a real possibility. And I think that the bottom line is that the Washington Commanders are going to need to address that. And I think that they needed to address this particular position on the football team, regardless if Jonathan Allen was back or not, because this team struggled with the run game. We know that we needed to get better up front. We would love to be able to generate some natural pressures without blitzing. And so, yeah, we have got to do that. And so I'm curious to see now what the pivot is. We'll be talking a little bit more about the combine as the NFL combine gets to start up here. We'll be talking about some interviews. We'll be talking about some of the workouts and things like that. And I must say that it is interesting that we're seeing a lot of players that are opting out. And so we'll see how that plays out. And so, anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about this. And as I always say, go Commanders. I'll see you guys on the next one. All right. Peace.